He runs like a freight train. He leaps like a predator. And when the ball falls at his feet, there's only one ending.
There's a slip from Urban. Shoot, he says. Oh my goodness! What a goal!
Benjamin Šeško, the 6 feet 4 inches Slovenian striker, is Manchester United's newest weapon. He isn't just another signing. He's a statement. A signal to the Premier League that United are ready to reclaim their throne. But the echoes of the past are loud. Ruud Van Nistelrooy.
Cole into Van Nistelrooy, chances here, and Van Nistelrooy has poked it across and in. He's got his first Premier League goal.
The Dutch predator who, 2 decades ago, turned scoring into an art form. A man who didn't just score goals, he devoured them. 150 times for United in just 219 games. His legacy? Cold efficiency, endless hunger, and an aura that terrified defenders. 2 strikers, 2 eras, 1 throne to claim. Is Šeško the modern heir to Ruud's legacy, or just chasing a shadow? Today, we settle it. 16 categories. Statistics, stories, no mercy. Category 1, professional debut age. Van Nistelrooy stepped into senior football with Den Bosch at 17 years and 9 months. He was a converted midfielder, learning the striker's craft, playing in the Dutch second tier, sharpening instincts that would later terrorize Europe. Back then, the journey to greatness took longer. Players had time to grow. Šeško? He made his professional debut for Domžale at just 16 years and 9 months. A full year earlier, already showing aerial power and composure. That head start means more games, more scars, more learning. He wasn't just playing, he was already fighting grown men before most kids finish school. Winner, Šeško. Score, 1-0. Category 2, first full top-flight season goals. Van Nistelrooy's first Eredivisie season brought 12 goals. Solid, but the work of a striker still evolving. He was growing into his role, adjusting to life as the main man. Šeško's first Bundesliga campaign? 14 goals in 31 games, despite splitting minutes with other forwards. He delivered in a league famed for pressing intensity and lightning counters. The Bundesliga isn't a place for passengers, and Šeško was no passenger. He was the engine. Winner, Šeško. Score, 2-0. Category 3, goals per 90, peak season. Ruud's peak United season, 2002/3. 25 league goals, 0.94 goals per 90. Nearly a goal a game. Ruthless, relentless. The kind of numbers that win titles. He carried United's attack on his shoulders and thrived under Ferguson's demand for excellence. Šeško's best so far? 0.76 at Leipzig in 2023-24. Strong, especially in a team that rotated its forwards constantly, but not yet at Ruud's level of inevitability. Winner, Van Nistelrooy. Score, 2-1. Category 4, shot conversion rate. Ruud was clinical, 18.2% conversion. That's elite in his era, when defenders had more time and space. Šeško, 22.4%. He picks shots more carefully, wastes less, and thrives in a game where margins are tighter and pressing suffocates strikers. Every chance counts, and Šeško makes them count. Winner, Šeško. Score, 3-1. Category 5, Champions League impact by age 21. Ruud's Champions League story didn't start until he was 25, already at United. By then, he was ready-made, fully formed. Šeško? He's already scored in Europe before even stepping onto a Premier League pitch. The Champions League is a young man's stage now, and Šeško has already shown he belongs under the brightest lights. Winner, Šeško. Score, 4-1. Category 6, aerial duels 1. Van Nistelrooy won around 48% of his aerial duels at his peak. Strong, but not unstoppable. He relied more on positioning than brute dominance. Šeško, 57% in the Bundesliga last season. He doesn't just jump, he soars. He bends games by winning second balls and turning crosses into weapons. In a league full of tall center backs, Šeško still ruled the skies. Winner, Šeško. Score, 5-1. Category 7, movement in the box. Van Nistelrooy's movement was supernatural. He ghosted between defenders, appearing like a shadow in the 6-yard box. Wingers trusted him blindly. They knew Ruud would be there. His anticipation was artistry. Šeško's movement is improving every season. He stretches lines, makes diagonal runs, and creates chaos with his speed. But Ruud's mastery in confined spaces remains a clinic strikers still study today. Winner, Van Nistelrooy. Score, 5-2. Category 8, Sprint Speed. Ruud's top pace was about 31 kilometers per hour, enough to escape defenders, but speed wasn't his identity. He was about timing, not track star runs. Šeško, 35.3 kilometers per hour. Winger speed in a giant's body. Watching him charge through a backline is like watching a sprinter in boots. In today's counter-attacking chaos, that makes him lethal. Winner, Šeško. Score, 6-2. Category 9, Penalty Conversion. Van Nistelrooy was one of the best penalty takers in football history. 88% success. Calm, cold, inevitable. He didn't miss when it mattered. Šeško? Strong numbers, but a smaller sample. About 80% so far. He's confident, but not yet legendary from the spot. Winner, Van Nistelrooy. Score, 6-3. Category 10, Pressing Actions per 90. In the early 2000s, pressing wasn't the obsession it is now. Van Nistelrooy averaged just over 7 pressures per game, enough for his era. Šeško, 14.2 per 90 at Leipzig. He closes defenders, chases keepers, and forces mistakes. He's not waiting for chances. He creates them by suffocating the opposition. That's the modern striker's job, and Šeško thrives at it. Winner, Šeško. Score, 7-3. Category 11, Weak Foot Threat. Ruud scored 22% of his goals with his left. He could finish, but his right foot ruled. Šeško? Nearly 29% of his strikes come with his weaker side. He's unpredictable, comfortable either way. That's the nightmare of modern defenders. You can't show him onto a weak foot because he doesn't have one. Winner, Šeško. Score, 8-3. Category 12, Involvement in Team Goals. In 2002/3, Ruud was involved in 45% of United's league goals. He wasn't just part of the system, he was the system. Without him, United's attack collapsed. Šeško's 2023/24 figure at Leipzig, 36%. Solid, but not as dominant. He played in a side with multiple threats. At United, that number could rise quickly. Winner, Van Nistelrooy. Score, 8-4. Category 13, Dribble Success. Ruud wasn't there to dribble. 42% success rate. Simple, direct, effective. Šeško, 58%. He doesn't dribble for show, but when he goes, he usually wins. He adds an extra dimension Ruud never had, the ability to create his own chance. Winner, Šeško. Score, 9-4. Category 14, Consistency in Scoring Runs. Van Nistelrooy once scored in 10 consecutive Premier League matches, a record that still stands. He was inevitable, week after week. Šeško's best streak so far? 5 games. Strong for his age, but not yet historic. Consistency is still Ruud's crown. Winner, Van Nistelrooy. Score, 9-5. Category 15, Big Game Goals. FA Cup Finals. Champions League Knockouts. Title Deciders. Ruud scored in them all. When the lights were brightest, he delivered. Šeško has scored in derbies and key Bundesliga games, but his big game resume is still being written. He has the tools. The stage awaits. Winner, Van Nistelrooy. Score, 9-6. Category 16, Market Value at 21. Ruud's 2001 move to United cost £19 million, around £45 million today. Huge for its time. Šeško's valuation now? £55 million plus. Modern football pays for potential, and he has it in spades. The market speaks. He's the future. Winner, Šeško. Final score, Šeško 10, Van Nistelrooy 6. For United fans, the wait for a true number 9 may finally be over. The throne is ready, and Benjamin Šeško is ready to sit on it.